What's happening, guys? Hey, I want to talk about something very important for guitar players today. It's called relative tuning. If you guys know what this is called a tuning fork. And back in the day, before they had these little fancy clip-on chromatic tuners, this is the way they did it. So what would happen is the guy that could play guitar the best would show up with one of these. He would go over in a corner and he'd hit this thing, and he would get a tone, and that's an A. And he would tune by ear to that sound right there. And then he would relatively tune from that. What do you mean by relatively tune? What that means is you go up here to the 5th fret right here and you grab this 6th string. When I say 6, this is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and you play this note. And that's an A. Well, why is that an A? Well, you need to know your musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. B to C and E to F are what's called half steps, or 1 fret, and everything else is 2 frets. It's called a whole step. So I'll put out a video on that later, but I want you to look at this. This is called relative tuning. Now, why is this helpful? I had a little girl that showed up for her school talent show, and she goes, "Jimmy, I got up there, me and my friend were going to sing a song, and the guitar was so out of tune I couldn't do anything." And I said, "Nobody was there to help you put the guitar in tune?" She said, "No, nobody was there." And I said, "Oh man, let's talk about relative tuning." So when you go to your guitar and you go here and you play that note on the 5th fret, which a lot of times should be like your 2nd dot on top. The dots are normally odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then it jumps to 12. And we'll talk about what happens here at the 12th fret later. But the main thing is when you play this note, that's an A. Why? Because the open E is here. E to F we talked about as a half step or 1 fret. There's F, G, whole step, and A. Now the next string is A. First of all, you need to know the names of these strings. EADGBE, or EADGBE, or Elvis Ate Donuts Going Back East, or Eddie Ate Dynamite Goodbye Eddie. Lots of them. But the main thing, EADGBE. Learn it, know it. Here's E, going to the 5th fret. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to that string and tune it until they sound the same. Then I'm going to go here. I'm going to the 5th string and I'm playing that note right there, which is a D, because that's the A string. A to B, B, C, D. Then I can do the same thing here. Go to this note right here on the D string, and that's a G. Now, if one of them's out of tune, you can tune it back. Now, on the G string, or the 3rd string, 1, 2, 3, I have to go back to the 4th fret, because this B is an oddball. All of these right here, when E to A, that's a 4th, 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 but then the B becomes the actual distance or interval between the G and the B. G, A, B is a 3rd. Everything else is a 4th. E to A, E, F, G, A. A to D, that's a 4th. D, G, G, B. That B string's the oddball. You go back here to the 4th fret, and then you come here, and that's the way you tune it. Now, that's relative tuning. So I'm close in there, I'm a little off, but at least I can get it where I need it to be. Then I can turn the tuner, I can turn the chromatic tuner on, and I can play it and get very accurate right here with where I need to be. I was a little sharp on that G, and now I'm set. Now, real quick, while I've got your attention right here, I want to talk about what a capo does too. Let's say you put a capo on 5 right here and you play this G-shaped chord. Which sounds all good and dandy and everything, but we were tuned and now I put the capo on. What do you think the capo does? It clamps down on the strings, causing it to go sharp possibly. So what I want to do to check the accuracy, even when I put a capo on, I want to tune. So what happens is you come over here and you tune accordingly with the capo on. There's a sharp right there. Don't even worry about what letters being displayed right here, because you've already tuned it in standard tuning, EADGBE. You just want to go what I call up to 12 o'clock and make sure everything's tuned. And now with the capo on, you're tuned. Relative tuning. Have fun with that.